Hello everybody, this is Lara with your quick update today for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. Sorry it's so late. There's actually a lot of organising to do for a Thanksgiving, isn't there? So I've been doing a lot of that today. It's like you guys have 2 Christmases and all that turkey. Okay, let's get into it. They're all having quite a bullish day today, but Bitcoin still remains below resistance at 38,000. It's not able to break through so far, and so far the session, which is not too far from an end, doesn't have push from volume. But we need to see how this session closes to really have conclusions about that. Resistance at 38,000, support at 35,000. Price has been in this small zone for a few weeks now, so we need to see a breakout before we can have confidence of the direction of the next trend. Yesterday was a strong downward session, pushing price lower. Today, a strong upward session so far with a decline in volume. The previous upward trend reached very extreme into danger territory for Bitcoin. ADX is now declining, relieving that extreme condition, but it hasn't yet managed to get itself below 45. So if it turns back up, it's still going to be indicating an extreme upward trend. RSI reached deeply overbought and exhibited double bearish divergence. It's now nicely back in neutral territory, but still above the 50 mark. So those very extreme conditions have been relieved, but not as much as I'd like to see yet. Likewise, money flow reached overbought and exhibited double bearish divergence. It has not managed to break below the 50 mark either. We are starting to see an increase in range and volatility now as price moves sideways. So I said a while ago, if my analysis is wrong and expecting a pullback or consolidation, it might not happen. Look out for really big surprises to the upside, and this increase in volatility over the last couple of weeks makes me suspect we might have had the end of a consolidation and pullback. We might be about to get into the next strong bullish run for Bitcoin. My expectation of a deeper pullback may not happen. The Elliott Wave count for Ethereum, I am changing it slightly to see a double combination unfolding sideways now for minute wave 2, considering the depth of this upward movement. I'm still expecting a correction for a second wave correction to complete, unfolding now as a combination with a zigzag for minuet W, X, a brief shallow 3 in the opposite direction, and now minuet Y may be unfolding as a regular flat correction, A, B is a 100% correction of A, and so C may move just a little bit below A. So minute 2 might find support about the log function of the 0.382 Fibonacci ratio at 1876.56. That's quite a lot short of a normal range for a second wave correction for this market of between 70 to 90%. But this is a second wave correction within the larger context of a third wave at 4 large degrees, minor, intermediate, primary and cycle. So the now strong upward pull of a huge third wave at 4 large degrees might force minute 2 to be more shallow than it might normally be, or at least a second wave outside of those conditions may be. This is a huge bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. It remains to be seen if it'll have push from volume. I'll be able to comment on that for you tomorrow. Ethereum is still finding support about 1880 and resistance is still about 2,400. In order for us to have confidence that this consolidation is over, we need to see a break above resistance with a close above 2,400. Yesterday, a downward session with a decline in volume. The volume profile for Ethereum for the very short term, I'll read it's bullish. It's stronger on this upward session most recently. RSI reached deeply overbought. It's now nicely in neutral territory, really close to the 50 mark. Let's see if it can move below. ADX is now below danger territory of 45, so back in normal trend range territory, but well above both DX lines, so it's not going to set itself up for the perfect signal, but there's plenty of room again for an upward trend to run before it becomes very extreme. Money flow also in neutral territory. It's remained so, but it's still above the 50 mark, pretty close though, could get below it. The Elliott Wave count for XRP, I had a target at 0.5824, and yesterday the low reached was 0.5746, so just a little bit below my target, pretty close. I think that's actually pretty good. And now we've got a strong bullish candlestick for XRP, so I think that was pretty useful. I think the structure now of minor wave 2 is complete. The ending contracting diagonal for minute wave C is complete and it meets all Elliott Wave rules. The structure could be over here in this bullish candlestick, not quite engulfing, but a pretty strong, at least piercing candlestick pattern, may be indicating the end of this pullback, and it may again have fallen substantially short of a normal range of 70 to 90%. But again, if this is a second wave correction here for XRP in the context of a third wave at 3 large degrees, minor, intermediate, well 4 because there's still minor pulling it up, so minor, intermediate, primary and cycle. So the strong upward pull of a third wave at multiple degrees could be forcing this second wave correction to be more shallow than it would normally expected to be. Technicals on the daily for XRP, the current candlestick may close as a piercing pattern. We don't have a close yet, so I may change this to a bullish engulfing pattern if the close manages to be above the open of the previous session for 21st, which was 0.6125. And let's see what volume does for the session. I'll comment on that for you tomorrow. Either way, so far it looks like we're going to have a bullish candlestick reversal pattern, and in the context of a pullback and a complete Elliott Wave structure and support about the 50-day moving average, it looks like the pullback could be over for XRP. Next resistance at 62 cents, above that resistance above at 82 cents. If price does continue lower though, I expect it may end at support about 54 to 55 cents, although today looks like it might not get down there. Yesterday's downward session saw volume pushing price lower. It's a little bit, this is one of the problems of identifying lows for these markets. Volume tends to push price lower in the middle and at the end of pullbacks and bear markets. They can end on a session with really strong volume, or they can end on a session with slightly weaker volume, and volume can be strongest in the middle. So an increase in volume, this could indicate the end of the pullback. For XRP, ADX is also now out of that danger territory of 45, so back below in normal range territory, ready to set up to indicate a new trend, but not going to give us the strongest signal because it's still quite high and it's still above both DX lines. This weak bearish signal that I drew your attention to from on-balance volume yesterday now may have had its follow through. It was followed by downward movement, so the predictive capacity of that may now be resolved. For XRP, RSI is now well in neutral territory and very good to see it's below the 50 mark, so setting itself up for a trend to run in either direction now. Likewise, money flow just dipping below the 50 mark today. That's good to see. That's it from me today with your quick update. I hope everyone in the United States has a really lovely Thanksgiving tomorrow.